That's a big shark.
I figured if it's gonna happen, I want it to happen fast. I hope it doesn't bite my leg. I hope it just sinks its teeth right into my heart. And bang, it's over with. I didn't know what to expect going to the Solomon Islands for the first time. I remember getting off the plane and thinking how awfully hot it was.
35-year-old Melissa Armstrong was a hotel manager in Toronto. But fed up with metropolitan life, she quit her job and traveled here in search of adventure.
I wasn't feeling fulfilled.
She's found a job working with marine researcher David Tomlinson, who spent almost 30 years studying the oceans.
I began diving in 1963 in the Bahamas. I'm very lucky to be able to study much of our oceans and see things that not a lot of people get a chance to see.
The dive site is 20 miles offshore. Melissa has never been diving so far from land.
I was excited. I felt good about the dive. It wasn't until I went out there that I thought, oh, wow, I'm really out in the middle of nowhere.
What's up?
Nothing. Well, I guess maybe I'm just a little nervous.
What about?
I was a little embarrassed because I wanted to be like the guys, one of the guys, and I said, I'm afraid of sharks.
No, you don't have to worry about sharks. They're much more afraid of us than we are them.
I doubt it.
I'm serious. They hardly ever bother divers. Now, if you were up on the surface like a surfer, flapping around, then you look like shark bait. But when you're down below, there's nothing to worry about. Can you zip me up?
The dive was completely different than anything I'd ever experienced. It was amazing. We started going through this white haze. It was quite dreamlike, and there were bubbles funneling up around us coming from the vents of Kavachi.
The volcano is out of sight beneath the divers, far deeper than they can safely descend. All they can see are clouds of sulfur dioxide rising towards them from below.
It was such an amazing celestial scene. It was just breathtaking.
After 30 minutes, the divers surface.
That was amazing, wasn't it?
It was awesome.
The weather has changed dramatically. The dark cloud David spotted earlier is now above them.
God, it's really choppy now.
Yeah.
There's the boat, it's miles away.
Hey!
I said, David, why aren't they turning around? And he couldn't answer that question.
You're yelling, you're screaming at the top of your voice. Why isn't he looking? We're here. Can't you see us?
One of them makes a desperate attempt to locate the missing divers, but he has no idea just how far away they are now. With the fuel tank almost empty, the boatmen have no other choice but to return to the island to get help.
Guys! Go!
It happened quite quickly. We watched them disappear, as if the sea swallowed them up. I said, David, this is bad. This is really, really, really bad.
Hey!
20 miles away, the boatmen get back to the island and raise the alarm.
Lost 2 divers out there.
The locals know the seas around here well. They've all heard the stories of giant hammerhead sharks preying on fishermen. They know they may not have long, and search parties race out on the hunt for the missing divers. David and Melissa can only hope that help is on its way. But with each passing hour, they're getting more nervous.
In the Solomons, there's a phenomenal amount of sea life there. My biggest fear at that stage, I believe, was sharks.
I'd imagine them circling below us. This big mouth coming up and tearing into one of us. I felt David, he pulled me to the right, abruptly.
David! David, what are you doing?
I pulled back and he pulled me, and I'm like, what?
It was coming straight at me from the depths, literally, from what I could see, straight at my face. It was this huge, ugly barracuda, probably 5.5 feet. They can be very aggressive, and they have been known to attack people before.
David knows the great barracuda has a ferocious bite.
All he has to do is hit me in my hand, my arm, my leg. If I start bleeding, I've got another major problem. I've got a problem with sharks.
Against 2 sets of razor-sharp teeth, David's only defense is his camera.
I needed something to ram and protect us. That was the first thing to use.
It circled around us and then it went off. He couldn't believe it didn't do anything else.
It's gone.
But I kept looking for it because I just didn't want to be caught by surprise by one of those.
As night started wrapping itself around us, it was completely terrifying. Thinking, oh my God, we're going to be here at night. We're going to have to deal with what we just dealt with, only in blackness.
What?
Stop. Stop swimming. Look, in the water.
All of a sudden, I find that every time we move our arm or our leg, the water's glowing.
Wow!
The mysterious light is caused by microscopic plankton in the water. Any sudden movement makes them glow.
Stop. Stop.
But it's beautiful.
Yeah. We move, we get seen, huh?
That really stopped us from swimming because I said, Melissa, we can't keep swimming now because we're going to, it's lighting up around us. Something's going to see us.
But when the divers stop swimming, their body temperature plummets.
I was just shaking so hard. I was so cold. You've got nothing to stand on. There's nothing to sit down on. I just wanted to be out of the water. I wanted something to float by so I could climb on top of it so that I wouldn't have this pressure on my body because it was so consuming and uncomfortable.
David and Melissa have been adrift in the South Pacific for over 12 hours. Trails of luminous plankton have made them stop swimming. Whatever's causing the flashes now, it's not them.
What was that?
We were seeing little explosions of light within, 5-10 meters of us.
Did you see that?
There'd be a flicker of light, and then another one, and then another one.
What sort of fish they were, I don't know. Any minute. You expect something's going to hit you.
Oh my God.
Your fear is unbelievable. The night was the most stressful time I've ever had in my life. It's as far as your emotional lows are concerned, that'd have to rank up there with them because I've never been so hopeless.
The exhausted divers are only 4 miles from land. But for David, this is the most terrifying part of the entire journey.
I didn't totally mention to Melissa at that stage that I believe the greatest fear we're going to have is that last bit, right in close to the shore, because it's an area I wanted to fish, because there's so much sea life there, including your upper major predators.
I remember thinking, what's that piece of plastic sticking out of the water? It looks like a sailboat's on its end, or almost like a kayak sticking straight up out of the water. Well, what's that plastic?
Oh, David! David! It's a shark.
What?
I saw a fin. Oh my God.
That woke me up.
What
I said, did it sort of look like this? And she says, yeah. And what I sketched with my finger was a dorsal fin of a hammerhead shark. That's a big shark.
I figured if it's going to happen, I want it to happen fast. I hope it doesn't bite my leg. I hope it just sinks its teeth right into my heart. And bang, it's over with.
This was my greatest fear. You're just hoping that that shark isn't hungry. With all the bad things that have happened, a little bit of good luck would be nice right now. The hardest problem is that you know it's still nearby. You're still waiting in the back of your mind, it's going to sneak up on you.
The divers make a last desperate attempt to reach land. After 26 hours in the ocean and an agonizing 20-mile swim, they're finally just a few hundred yards from their goal.
We're 100 meters from the shoreline, but the odds were that we weren't going to survive.
Ready?
And I just happened to turn left, and I don't know why I turned left and looked.
And then I heard him say, "I'll be damned. There's a boat." It was unbelievable. It couldn't have been at a more beautiful time.
It was an unbelievable feeling. Absolutely unbelievable feeling. Because then it was just like one of the heaviest weights you'd ever have in your life lifted off your shoulder.
Next thing I know, the boat's next to us, and they're pulling me out of the water. And I'm like, I was this crazy mad woman. I was crying and laughing. I kept thinking, I was just lost at sea. I was just lost at sea for 26 hours. The sharks didn't eat us. We didn't die. I'm alive.